Hello, this is a continual video, part two of 4 difficult personalities that you want to be aware of, and you want to make sure if you're encountering relationships with these personality traits that you need to protect yourself from these personalities and just to have awareness. And if you missed the original video of this series, this is part two. Go ahead and also watch the other personality traits that you really want to be aware of. It's really good. And I'll add the link to that video also in the description for you to watch. So, this number one personality trait that you want to be aware of is people who believe that the world revolves around them. They never consider anyone else's feelings. They're kind of selfish in their own ways. They feel like everything is centered around their world and their life. And this personality trait may not be as bad if you're just working with this person or you're not in a close inner circle relationship with this person. But if this person is someone who is close to you, who you spend a lot of time with, this can become very toxic because having this personality, they don't do well with people who are direct and who address them and who let them know that they're not being considerate of other people's feelings. A lot of times with this personality, they're seeking out other people who are more passive and who allow them to be selfish in their ways, people who may not speak up or may not call them out on what they're doing, but who will be more avoidance of conflict and things like that. This personality, they're seeking out people with those personalities. So if that's something you struggle with, you really want to be aware of it. You really want to begin to set boundaries. You really want to ask yourself what's important to you in your relationships. And if this, like I said, if this person is not really in a close relationship with you, maybe you don't have to really interact with them as much. You can keep your distance, that's fine. But when this person is in a close relationship with you, you want to create boundaries. And if they overstep those boundaries, you're going to really have to decide what is necessary when it comes to maintaining a relationship or eliminating this relationship because it's just too negative for you. So again, this personality, they're seeking people who can be more pushover, who they can get away with being selfish and putting themselves first, which, don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with prioritizing your self-care and making sure that you are good and healthy, and that comes first. But in addition to doing that, you still should be considerate of other people. You still should be willing to do the work to understand the people you're in a relationship with by having the proper communication, by having healthy dialogue, and doing the necessary work to get to the root issue of what's going on within the relationship. But if everything just centers around you and you're not considerate of the other person, that is a major issue. Number two, now this personality trait is about people who never admit that they're ever wrong. They are always right. In every conversation, they have the last word. Their right is their way or the highway. This is not a healthy personality trait when it comes to relationships. If this person cannot allow you to share your view or your point of view, you may not want to continue in that relationship. But if they're always right, they always have to have the last word. They're always, above what you're saying or what you feel or what you're doing, never willing to listen, to understand, but they just have to be right. I heard a quote before that said, is it more important to be right or to be in love? And you have to ask yourself this, especially if this is a close relationship. Is it really about you being right? Because sometimes you being right will push that other person away and will end the loving relationship that you desire. So, do you want that loving relationship or do you want to just be right? And the person that's dealing with this personality trait that always have to be right, they're always arguing, they always want to be heard, they always want to have the last word, they always want to one up you on what it is you're doing or what you're saying. And ask yourself, is that healthy? Is that what you want? Is that what you desire? When you think about your life, you want to think about where you're going in your life, in your future, your health, your mindset, your finances, your relationships. What does that look like for you and your future and the future you desire to have? And if this relationship does not support that vision for you and where you're going, you need to begin to make some changes, set some boundaries, or do something in your life to begin to stand firm on what's important for you moving forward in your relationships. Now, this is a very important quote that I share in my book, The Love Habit. It says, a victim mindset will force a person to habitually seek out internal situations and people to blame for feelings of love and pain. This is the result of the belief that both your happiness and unfulfillment is due to the outside world circumstances. And I'm super excited to share that my book, The Love Habit, is now available for pre order. And you can go ahead and pre order it now, and it will release where all books are sold on September 10th, 2024. Now, again, let me talk about this quote though. A victim's mindset will force a person to habitually seek out external situations and people to blame. So, this means this person never has responsibility for their feelings. It's always the other person. Or if they feel in love, it's the other person, which is, being in love is great, right? But it's all about what's happening. If that person is doing what they want them to do, or if they're feeling pain, it's because of another person. They're not taking full ownership of their feeling what's going on, which, don't get me wrong, other people can influence you to feel sad, influence you to feel love. However, there is a part of you that you must be aware of that influences your feelings and your desires, your hopes, your dreams, and all of those things. And it's very important to not fall into this subconscious victim mindset where you begin to believe that your life is in control of external situations and people, that people and situations are fully in control of your life. You have no control. You have no say. You don't know where you're going, what's going to happen, how you're going to feel, whatever. It's just whatever. You're going with the flow. You're blown by the wind. Whatever the weather is going to determine how you feel. No, you have to begin to make decisions that you're going to feel this way because this is what you are determined to feel. I went through depression years ago, which led me to a new mindset to begin to speak affirmations over my life and gratitude and not allow myself to fall victimized of the things that happened to me. And that really pulled me out of a place of deep, dark depression, which led me to do the work that I'm doing today. And that's why I'm encouraging you, because sometimes we can get so caught up in believing that our life is outside of our control and we have no control, which I believe that there are things we can't control, but there are a lot of things we can control. We can control our own emotions. We can control how we feel, what we think, what we're going to believe, what we do. We may not be in control of other people, but we can be in control of ourselves and our reaction to other people. So go ahead and pre-order that book, The Love Habit, and you're going to learn daily self-care techniques to thrive in your life, to have a happier life and healthier relationships. Now, that leads me to the third challenging personality trait that you want to be aware of. And this is the trait of people who have to always be in control of everything and everyone. These people can become so anxious if they can't control situations in their life. They begin to feel panic if they feel like things are out of their control, which, like I said before, we can't control everything. Now, we can control ourselves, our actions, our beliefs, the things we say, what we do, our act, but we can't control other people and other things. And so when you begin to try to manipulate and control other people, then that becomes a negative personality trait. And this often happens because people are fearing what could happen. They deal with a lot of fear. And they often have trust issues because they don't really trust people. So they try to control everything and everyone because they're struggling to trust. They have fear, they have anxiety, they worry. And so this is very stressful. This is a very stressful personality trait that you really want to be aware of. You want to watch out for. And when you're dealing with people like this, you really got to create a distance because they'll try to control you. They'll try to manipulate you. They'll try to tell you, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And if things don't happen the way they want it to happen, they're going to put more pressure on you, more stress on you. And it's not worth you living your life under someone else's stress and control. You are not here to be controlled by another person. You are here to live a thriving, wonderful, prosperous life, to envision the life you desire and to go for that life, not to have another person to stop you and to tell you what you can or cannot do. No, that's not healthy, and that is not the way you should continue in a relationship. So you create your boundaries. You let that person know, I will not do X, Y, and Z, what you're telling me to do. This is what I will do. This is what I'm choosing to do. And this is my boundary. You really have to make it clear with people like this because they will try. They will try to have the upper hand in your life. And you have to let them know, no, you are the manager of your life. You are the director of your life. You are the CEO of your life. They cannot take ownership of your life and what it is that you do. Now, finally, this last personality is the most toxic of them all. This is the person who stabs you in the back and then they get mad at you as if you did something wrong. Now, this person can be very toxic. They can do you wrong. They can lie on you. They can accuse you of things. They can create scenarios and situations and experiences as if it's your fault. You're at fault. It's all on you, knowing that they're wrong, knowing that they're the ones that's coming against you, attacking you. And then when you call them out, when you stand your ground, you remove yourself, they get mad at you and they act as if you did something wrong. This is a very toxic personality, and you want to stay clear from people like this. You really, if you have someone like this that's in your close relationship, in your close circle, in your inner circle, an intimate relationship with someone like this, you need to really begin to analyze if it's worth you doing the necessary therapy, trauma healing work to continue in that relationship, which it is very unhealthy to continue in a relationship with someone who intentionally do you wrong and then blame you and get mad at you after they are wrong. That creates a lot of mental stress. It creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of trauma, and you don't deserve to live your life in that way. So create the necessary boundaries, stand your ground, think about, prioritize your peace, prioritize your mental health. Make sure that you're making decisions that serve the future life that you desire to live. So I want to remind you to be sure to check out the other 5 difficult personality traits if you didn't watch the video. Check that out. I'll have a link in the description as well. Let me know which difficult personality trait stood out to you the most. Have you experienced this before? Let me know. I want to hear from you in the comments. Also, check out my link in the description to pre-order your copy of The Love Habit, which is now available for pre-order and will be released on September 10th, 2024. I'm super excited about this book. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this, click like and share this video with someone who needs to hear this advice. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll connect with you in the next video.